By being non-stimulative in our behavior, we lost the connection in the depth of our physiology. That is the power of our mind. And what I can do, anybody is able to do. The power to adapt to the stressor in general. We lost this connection is because we wear clothes all the time and we live in a comfort zone behavior. We think we can control nature, but by being non-stimulative in our behavior, we lost the connection in the depth of our physiology. Because we are able to adapt about to anything. We are built to be able to adapt without stress into any stressful situation and get a solution. The body knows. Because we got into this comfort zone behavior hundreds of years, our genetics have changed, our physiology has changed, everything has changed. And we lost actually the full power of the mind. I did many studies already because I don't like speculation. I go through study, the scrutiny, and let any scientist prove me wrong, because I like to go through the truth, because I think there is more than meets the eye. I did many studies, and yes, I could resist the bacteria as thought of not being able by humans. We changed medical history by showing a group of people compared to 16,134 people becoming sick after injection of a endotoxemia, and then suddenly 1,200% score within a quarter of an hour, complete control over the innate immune system and the specific, by the way, the adaptive immune system. And how did I learn to do that and to pass it on? Because it's already there in us. It only needs to awaken. The adaptive immune system is willfully regulating and controlling your T cells and B cells, and they are located in the bone marrow. We are able to willfully influence the bone marrow and to release the T and B cells, which are very specific in the targeting on the bacteria and the virus, and apoptosis, cell death. So, willfully being able to get into the bone marrow and release the T and B cells in case of inflammation is what we, and inflammation, I tell you, is the cause of any disease. And that's normal, but it was not normal to be able to inoculate that reaction. How did we do that? By breathing exercises that are like controlled hypoxia, where through the brainstem, the fight and flight suddenly activates the adrenaline and resets the body. And resetting the body is going past our comfort zone conditioning, going back in our primordial state, the way nature meant it to be, and that is being able effectively to battle dis-ease. Very simple, very effective, very accessible for any human in the world. And then we go a step further. A step further is the last study wherein I was exposed to cold water, and just by a thought I was able to make the skin temperature not going down while I was exposed to cold water on my skin, ice water. Same, I didn't do anything. Why? Because I am in command of my breath. And with that, I become in command of my alchemy. And I'm able then to send and to manipulate any part of my body. They looked inside the brain, and whereas normally stress comes on the body, and that could be cold, could be heat, but could also be emotion. Depression, bipolar, anxiety, fear, PTSD, trauma, it's all stress in the brain. And it gets inflamed. And we don't know how to break the loop. Now they looked inside of my brain while this stressor was going on, And I stayed out of the stressor. When the cold came in, I just stayed over there, and warmth, cold, warmth. I stayed in control. And then they looked inside the brain. And whereas normally the activity of the stress is highlighting the prefrontal cortex, the conscious brain, because it's cold. Oh, I feel bad because I'm divorced now, and this and that, and my business is gone, and whatever, you know, stress, real stress. And then the insula, which is normally active, very activated, when you go into deep meditation, then the insula gets becoming more red, and then this is blue because deactivates the normal daily consciousness, and the insula, the deep meditation is on, and blood flow goes in the deeper parts of the brain. Suddenly it becomes all active, and it's pleasant, it's nice, euphoric. And the stress coming to my body did not make my prefrontal cortex active. And then they saw something very remarkable, which is a robust activation of the PAG, which is part of the brain stem, that is the deepest part of the brain, the fight and flight, the survival, but also the area of the hormonal periaqueductal gray hemisphere, which is responsible for the activation of opioids. And we got an epidemic on opioids, isn't it? But we don't know how to tap in and to make these opioids work for us. Against, it's like pain killing, analgesia, natural ones, very strong inside of us. We lost the connection, but now it is here. And the other one is the euphoric hormones, the cannabinoids, endocannabinoid system. Both are there, and they saw me activating for the first time in medical science robustly into that area. That's why it did not only solve the stressor from not being cold, it was warm. And the professors, they had a difficult time putting more ice in the water because I was warming up the water and I was doing nothing. That is the power of our mind. And what I can do, anybody is able to do.